that, folks? Well, that bail jumper fugitive Paul Watson of Sea Shepherd has issued a communique, and I have a link to it in the description. And when you read this, you're going to read the hallucinations of a man who is out of touch with reality, because all that has happened to him is not his responsibility. What he has done, there should be no consequences. So basically, it's just that the people in Japan selected him. Out of all the people on this planet, they selected him to vilify and go after. That's what they did, because we all know how evil the Japanese are. And the second most person responsible for going after him is that former crew member of Sea Shepherd, Peter Platoon. Let's go over a few sections of his communique. This has to do with the donated money for the Tsunami Earthquake Relief Fund. He writes, of the hundreds of millions of dollars contributed from around the world to the victims of that disaster, an allocation of some $30 million was given to the whalers to fight Sea Shepherd Conservation Society. This is certainly not what the people who sent donations ever imagined that their contributions would be spent on. To which I have to say, really? Or as we say in Japan, Majikayo! Let me explain this to you good folks who believe this nonsense from him. The money donated to the Tsunami Earthquake Relief Fund went exactly there. The money given to the whalers was Japanese tax money allocated to them by the Japanese government. The way the Japanese government spends its money is only the business of the Japanese taxpayer. So is Mr. Watson claiming to be a Japanese taxpayer? Let us continue. Talking about the 80 Gill and the crew members of the 80 Gill. The crew was recruited by Peter Platoon to help man his vessel, the 80 Gill, and whatnot crew members. But Sea Shepherd still worked with them to try to stop the Japanese whalers, and Sea Shepherd rescued him when their ship was rammed and destroyed. Note that Peter Platoon was not a Sea Shepherd captain either. So, what he's basically saying here is that the 80 Gill was not part of their Rust Bucket Garbage Scow fleet, and that Peter Platoon and his crew members were not part of the Sea Shepherd organization. Huh? Then how was it when Peter Platoon was incarcerated in Tokyo, Sea Shepherd threw him out of the organization? How do you throw someone out of your organization who's not a member? See? Hiding out in Brigitte Bardot's root cellar is taking a toll. He no longer has a good grasp of reality. Then he says the 80 Gill was not part of their fleet. Why is it that when the 80 Gill became part of their fleet, Sea Shepherd was boasting all over the internet, we have this futuristic vessel to do dirty work against the evil Japanese in the Southern Ocean. We'll defeat them this whaling season because of this futuristic vessel, the 80 Gill. So now we're saying, huh? The 80 Gill, what was that? Let's look at some photographs of the 80 Gill with Sea Shepherd icons adoring it. Enough said, let's continue. Other incidents by Japan have also not been investigated, including the ramming of the Bob Barker by one of the harpoon vessels. So he's saying here that the Japanese rammed their vessel, the Bob Barker, and you better investigate it. What about all the ramming Sea Shepherd has done? How come he has not called for any investigation? If you look on the side of the Steve Irwin, they have the words rammed stenciled in, and below it, Japanese flags, meaning that's as many times as they rammed the Japanese vessels. I'll show you pictures of that, as well as pictures and video of them ramming the Japanese vessels.
衝突しました。今、現本線の左舷後方に、
はい、衝突します、衝突します、衝突します、衝突します。はい、スティーブ・アインズ、体当たりしました。
See, don't investigate that. Only investigate what happened to the Barbaka. Let us continue. Another bit of misinformation is that I am a fugitive from justice. I am not, and it is not a crime for anyone to work with or assist me. It is a complicated case, but I am not wanted outside of Japan, Costa Rica, and Germany. Wait a minute. He starts off by saying he's not a fugitive from justice. Then he goes on to say he's a fugitive from Japan, Costa Rica, and Germany. See, folks? It's pathetic. Let us continue. I am captured and politically crucified before this campaign. All I can say is that this has always been for me a possibility, and the Japanese will find that I am not as meek and unprepared as their previous prisoner. The loss of my personal freedom or even my life will be a fair price. So he says the loss of his personal freedom is a fair price to pay. Then why are you on the run? The loss of his life is a fair price to pay. Then why were you crying in fear of going to a Costa Rican jail, claiming that the so-called shark fin mafia was going to execute you? See, folks, the poor guy is pathetic. These writings, and when you read them, you're going to see it's a man out of touch with reality. Alright, folks. We'll see you. God bless you. God bless America. And God bless the nation you happen to be in. And believe me, folks, I wish this gentleman no harm. May he remain in good health, be on the run, or hopefully in jail. See you.